Hey there, all you gearheads and car enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of muscle cars. Oh, but not just any muscle cars. We're talking about the rarest, the fastest, the most iconic, 8 rare muscle cars you probably didn't know existed. Buckle up because this is going to be a high-octane ride. Let's kick off our list with a car that looks like it came straight out of a superhero movie. Say hello to the 1970 Plymouth Superbird. Picture this. A car so geared for performance that it swooped in and claimed 8 NASCAR wins in its debut year. That's like the Rookie of the Year, but for cars. What set the Superbird apart? Just look at that pointed front fascia, complete with a grille large enough to barbecue on. Kidding, don't actually try that. This was Plymouth's retort to the Charger Daytona, and boy, did it make a statement. Plymouth wasn't playing games. They made 2 units for every authorized dealer in the country. We're talking a little over 1,900 units in existence. Under the hood, we've got a race-ready 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine that churns out 425 horsepower and a staggering 490 lb-ft of torque. How quick is it, you ask? 0 to 60 in just 5.5 seconds. And its top speed? Hold on to your hats. 185 miles per hour. The Superbird wasn't just a looker, it was a full-blown performer. Moving on to number 7, we have a true icon, the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. This bad boy wasn't just competing with the muscle cars of its era, it was defining what a muscle car should be. With a design so stellar and road presence so massive, it managed to outsell the Ford Mustang, giving Chevy executives a reason to do a happy dance. Now let's talk power. This Camaro ZL1 came packed with a 427 big block motor. Oh yes, this engine was a beast that roared out 430 horsepower and 450 lb-ft of torque. That's a lot of oomph for a car that was just as fun to drive as it was to look at. But why is it so rare, you ask? Well, rarity often makes things more desirable, and with this muscle machine, you get the best of both worlds, style and scarcity. Put it all together, and you've got a car that's more than just a pretty face. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 isn't just a desirable muscle car, it's practically a chapter in the automotive history book. So if you ever spot one of these on the road, consider yourself lucky. You've just seen an icon. Alright, fasten your seatbelts, because we're moving on to a car so exclusive you could probably count its existing models using your fingers and toes. Introducing the 1971 Hemi Cuda Convertible, a car so rare that if it were a steak, even the most hardcore carnivores might think twice. With only 12 models ever sold, we're talking about a muscle car so exclusive it's the equivalent of finding a 4-leaf clover in a field of 3s. When it comes to power, the 71 Hemi Cuda Convertible is no slouch either. Under its hood resides a 426 cubic inch motor that pumps out 425 horsepower and a meaty 490 lb-ft of torque. It's the kind of car that could beat you in a drag race and then casually ask, was that all? With a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 5.8 seconds, it's not just about exclusivity, it's about blowing the doors off the competition. You want more? How about its current market price? If you're lucky enough to find one for sale, be ready to break the bank because this convertible beast can cost upwards of $2 million. Next up on our list is a car that doesn't just sound like a superhero, it acts like one too. Meet the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt, a car that took Ford's reputation for making modest and elegant vehicles and revved it up a notch, or 10. This wasn't your everyday classic car. The '64 Fairlane Thunderbolt was born to dominate with its race-ready package. It came with a 427 cubic inch V8 engine that cranked out 425 horsepower and a generous 480 lb-ft of torque. This meant you could go from 0 to, oh my god, this is fast, in a heartbeat, as it clocked a quarter-mile time under 12 seconds. If you're wondering about its rarity, only about 100 units were ever produced. And did I mention its dual-tone paint job? If James Bond ever decided to go all-American for a movie, this would be his ride of choice. Sure, it's not packed with gadgets, but with that kind of power, who needs them? Between its roaring engine, eye-catching aesthetics, and its seat-of-the-pants performance, the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt remains one of the most unforgettable muscle cars to have graced our roads. If you ever spot one, snap a photo. You might not get another chance. All right, fans of retro style and monstrous engines, you're in for a treat with this next entry. Feast your eyes on the 1962 Chevrolet Bel Air 409. If cars had personalities, this one would be the intimidating leather jacket-wearing rebel in the back of the classroom. With only 9,600 units ever produced, this bad boy has exclusive written all over it. The Bel Air 409 wasn't just about looking tough, though. It had the muscle to back up its menacing facade. Under that hood, you'd find a 4,090 cubic inch V8 engine. Oh yes, that's where the 409 in the name comes from. This engine could crank out 409 horsepower and propel this steel chariot from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a staggering 5.9 seconds. It was the kind of car that made stoplights tremble in fear. With its low-slung stance and massive dimensions, the Bel Air 409 looked like it was about to pounce even while standing still. The large round headlamps and prominent chrome grille added the finishing touches to this classic package. It's more than just a car, it's an emblem of a high-octane era. Next on the list is a muscle car that wasn't satisfied being just another Camaro. Oh no, it had bigger aspirations. Say hello to the 1968 Chevrolet Yenko Camaro, a machine so powerful it needed a name drop in its title. Named after the legendary Don Yenko himself. Only 64 units were made in 1968, making it one of the unicorns in the muscle car world. Under the hood, you'd find more than just a V8 engine, you'd find a work of mechanical art. With its numerous modifications like a hood scoop and a rear spoiler that practically screams speed, this Camaro could blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a jaw-dropping 5.4 seconds and reach a top speed of 140 miles per hour. And those numbers aren't just for show, they're badges of honor. What makes the Yenko Camaro even more special is its exclusivity. With such a limited production run, owning one of these is akin to finding the holy grail of muscle cars. So if you happen to be lucky enough to see a Yenko in the wild, maybe buy a lottery ticket. Your luck is clearly on fire. All right, time to step into the world of aerodynamic excellence and raw power. Let me introduce you to the 1969 Dodge Daytona, a car designed not just to turn heads, but also to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. If Batman were a NASCAR driver, this would be his Batmobile. To say this car was designed for performance would be an understatement. It was engineered to obliterate the competition. With aerodynamic adjustments like a massive rear wing and a pointed nose design, the Daytona reduced its aerodynamic drag by a staggering 20%. It wasn't just built to go fast, it was built to fly. And fly it did, thanks to its monstrous 7.0-liter Hemi 5.8 engine that could pump out 425 horsepower and a torquey 490 lb-ft. If you thought 0, 60 in under 6 seconds was impressive for a car from '69, how about doing it in 5.2 seconds? And it didn't stop there. It could reach a top speed of 185 miles per hour. And the icing on the cake? The standard 4-speed manual Hurst transmission that let you feel every ounce of that power. Although for those who preferred ease over thrill, there was also an optional 3-speed automatic. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the summit, the piece de resistance, the pinnacle of muscle car greatness. Feast your eyes on the 1967 Chevrolet Camaro Cherokee, a car so unique it makes unicorns look commonplace. This was no ordinary Camaro, no siree. This was a Camaro with bells, whistles, and a see-through hood to display its engine. That's right, it wanted you to see its heart. A 396 RPO L78 big block V8 engine that dished out a stunning 375 horsepower. And it wasn't shy about showcasing its features either. Tilt steering column, power windows, an AM/FM stereo, and optional front disc brakes. This car didn't just come with an engine, it came with a statement. Mated to a turbo hydromatic 400 transmission, the Camaro Cherokee wasn't just powerful, it was smooth. It was the sort of car you'd want to take to a drive-in movie and then, halfway through the film, decide you'd rather just speed down an open highway because who needs a plot when you've got that much horsepower? Well, There you have it, folks. We've roared through the landscape of rare muscle cars, revving up nostalgia and igniting your need for speed. I hope you had as much fun as these cars had horsepower. Until next time, keep those engines running and those spirits high. Drive safe.